pretty sure 2019 is going to be the best year of my life. Famous last words for Onision. So, if anybody is unfamiliar with who Onision is, I don't blame you. I guess the guy is super controversial. I've heard his name come up quite a few times before, and he just came across as a complete idiot to me, and not someone that I would ever actually find any entertainment value in watching. I guess his freakout video off being banned from Patreon was a little bit entertaining. But to go over just a very brief history of Onision, you can kind of see what's going on with YouTube. Onision likes to run out and file false copyright claims on other YouTubers and basically steal their income. He's total jackass. He's a vegetarian who thinks that people who eat meat should die, but also destroyed an ecosystem by bulldozing wetlands that he believed he had ownership of. So just a splendid individual. Now, if destroying wildlife habitats and stealing money from other YouTubers isn't bad enough, well, Onision is, of course, kind of confirmed to be a child groomer based on what we've seen come out from Chris Hansen, who really did shut the guy down. Now, I'm jumping around a little bit. This is a very brief rundown for anybody who's unfamiliar with the whole Onision situation. But essentially, a bunch of women have come forward with text messages, and I got a couple of them pulled up over here, about emotional abuse, about how he was forcing these women into relationships with him and his current wife. This Kai person who I don't know too much about them. What I do know is some of the women have actually stated that on top of the fact that he was essentially grooming them from the time they were like 16, 17 years old, when they came over and engaged in these relationships, they would have their daughter in the bed with them at the same time. So it's a lot of really, really creepy stuff going around this guy right now. There's a lot of creepy stuff going around this guy right now. And I guess one thing I saw in this video was he's being accused of a lot of things, right? There are text messages that have been leaked. I showed one on the screen very briefly. You won't get a name tattoo, and there is merit to that. But there will be no excuse for you not shaving your head. And then the person goes, "You think I'm brave enough to do that? Why my hair? You lied to us repeatedly and abandoned us. If you really loved us, you would prove that you are sorry and that the relationship means more to you than something else important to you. So shave your head." Again, I would literally do this in an instant if I were in your shoes. There's a bunch of these that are going around right now, in which he's kind of saying, you have to do this in order to prove that you love me and that you're sorry. Including, and I don't know if this is part of that same chain, where he was demanding one of the girls who was in this threesome relationship with him and his wife, was that she should chain herself to his dungeon, shave her head, tattoo "I'm a liar" on her back. And if she didn't do that, then this would mean that she wasn't sorry, and that she was not worthy of their love. Now, from the outside, you might be sitting there going, well, if I was just sent that message, I would clearly know to turn away. But I guess what the thing about the groomer is, he was inviting girls in their teens onto his 18 and up site to share photos with him. They got engaged with him. You know, he's a big YouTuber, he's a big celebrity, and I guess they kind of just fell into it. He would invite them over, get them into the relationship, and then the moment they started doing things that he disliked, he would withhold affection. He'd accuse them of not loving him, of lying to him, about lying about him, whatever, and then force them to do things like shave your hair in order to prove your love. And I'm guessing that it was quite a few women that actually wound up doing this. Now, obviously, we can make the argument that they should know better, but I mean, the thing is, the dude is a child groomer. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for years. And it's really creepy going through this guy's channel. He's got a whole video in which he's parodying How to Catch a Predator, in which he's the predator, and Chris Hansen's taking him down. And now we're at the end of 2019, and he's legit on How to Catch a Predator, and Chris Hansen is taking him down. Now, I know what you guys are thinking as far as allegations go, right? What's confirmed, what's not confirmed, what's true and what isn't true. Everything I'm seeing about this guy, he looks like a legit creeper. The things he's done, just they're way over the line. The messages he's sending to people are that's clearly being emotionally manipulative. Now, the funny thing that I found throughout this entire thing, beyond the fact that he did this video crying, legit having a freak out because he got banned from Patreon, essentially for doxing one of the women that came forward against him. He shared her personal information, and I'm not going to even try to look up that. But Patreon wound up banning him for doing this, for doxing somebody who came forward against him, which I think crosses way too many lines, right? There's a difference between facing your accuser and legitimately spreading your accuser's information all over the web so other people can go target them. And I know he deleted it, and I know he said he was sorry, but the fact of the matter is he did it, right? There's no getting around that. This woman was then contacted, Patreon banned him, and he had a total freak out. Then he has another freak out video where he's crying and bawling in tears about how he's sorry, and the dude's just kind of blaming others for his own actions. Now, I said there was something funny in this. I guess Chris Hansen, because he's had these other people onto his show exposing him. He's done 2 streams on it, both about an hour long, one with Sarah and one with, I believe, Haley or Holly, who's one of the other girls. And I guess Chris actually has invited Onision to come onto his show, onto the live stream, and try to defend himself, try to explain himself in some way, right? Which you would think that if you're being accused of being a child groomer, right, and you have all these text messages leaking out about you, you have multiple women coming forward and exposing some really dirty things. Now, they could be lying, but why not defend yourself? All this public freaking out over your Patreon being shut down, about how you're losing money, like, you would think that you'd want to address it, but no. What Onision did, I'm actually just going to go to the video. This is clipped from the stream. It's the funniest thing. Okay, so just watch how Onision responded to Chris Hansen when he tried to have him on.
Shout out to Onision, Gregory Jackson, for his comment, his input, maybe even his appearance on this show or one of my other shows. And he immediately requested $350,000. We don't pay people. We're journalists here, at least
right.
My channel.
Sorry, Greg, but haven't you become the very thing you swore to destroy? Aren't you trying to get a quote?
So, I mean, there you guys go. That's Onision in a nutshell, just a really brief rundown of the guy. He's wildly hypocritical. He's caused actual environmental damage, but he shames other people for not being vegetarian, right? He's a child groomer who makes parody videos of How to Catch a Predator where he's the predator. This is someone who's got some serious issues. I have no clue what's really wrong with the guy, but I would say that this dude is not all there. There's I don't know why people watch him. He seems like a total screwball, and maybe some people like the super edginess of it all, but he kind of. I went through like the last few videos the guy's posted up, and he's trash, and I mean trash in like an actual. This guy is hot garbage, but. the idea that he's forcing himself onto his fans, right? He's forcing them into these relationships, then he's manipulating them emotionally. Sure, as long as they were all legal aged at the time, and you know, you weren't exchanging photos with minors, which it sounds like you were. It's not technically illegal to emotionally manipulate somebody. It's just terrible to do that. It really is. To force all these different women into these relationships, to bring them into your bed with your wife. I mean, sure, like threesomes are threesomes, they happen. But to do that with your kid in the bed too? Like, yeah, I did this other video where I was talking about Aubrey Huff, right? The Giants player, and how, you know, he brought his kids to a gun range, and some people were making these comments about how they were going to notify Child Protective Services, and they were calling the authorities on the guy. You know, I'm never one to say, let's just call CPS and have them sort it out, but my goodness, if you're legit having other people in your bed, if you're having threesomes in your bed while your daughter is sleeping in that bed with you, I actually do think Child Protective Services should be notified about that. I think that there are some clear lines, and this dude has crossed every single one. And that's just if like half the stuff that's been said about the guy is true. But the only thing I can say as kind of like devil's advocate here, because this dude's a devil, is he has literally nobody who is going to defend him other than his super hardcore fans who are just going to act as if this is all a scam and it's all fake and blah, 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 blah. Because he's attacked everybody, right? He's attacked people for their views. He's called other people hypocrites. There's the whole thing about the whole you should die if you eat meat too, you know? There's the just random copyright claims he forces onto other people in order to steal their money, and because he has such a large channel, YouTube just sides with him, you know, 9 times out of 10, and he's stealing other people's work, right? He's stealing the product of other people's work and their labor. So he's, again, just from the start of the video, he's a thief, he's a liar, and now he's, we'll use the term people love to use now, he has been credibly accused of being a child groomer and performing sexual activities with his daughter in the bed. Like, something needs to be done there. I'm kind of glad I have not really known of who Onision is up until this point, because my goodness, what a shit show, right? What just an absolute trash fire going on here. But something should be done. CPS should go and investigate that situation, go check with the daughter, have a therapist involved, and make sure everything is on the level, because they could be making claims of things that are not true. That's 100%. But when you have the chance to legit go onto the guy's show where they're making these accusations and shut it down, and you instead demand money, well, that on top of stealing money from other YouTubers, it kind of tells me that you want to suck up as much cash as you can right now, because you see the walls are legit closing in. You know, that kind of makes sense to me now, why you're stealing money from other YouTubers, why you're filing these false copyright strikes, and why you're demanding money in order to defend yourself, right? That he's giving you a free opportunity to defend yourself, instead you demand money. But I would like to just go all the way back to the very first tweet that I read at the start of the video. The one that I think kind of just sums up everything about this man. Pretty sure 2019 is going to be the best year of my life. Well, you've got roughly a month and a couple days remaining of 2019, and I really do humbly want to ask this mental scumbag just one serious question. Do you regret sending this tweet? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Please like, share it on on social media. Oh man. Well, happy Turkey Day, everybody. Bye-bye.